Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to your October 2023 reading. I'm Lou, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Let's start the reading with Echidna, Problem Solver. What an interesting card to come out for you this month, because it is actually Libra season, okay? And Libra represents your 6th house. Now, the 6th house is a house where we do actually solve a lot of problems, because 6th house is the house where we look at the kind of all the really small, minute details of your life. So it's a house of efficiency, creating more flow by assessing the details. So this is what the Echidna card is all about, is any problems in your life, any areas in your life that are not up to scratch, that are not really functioning at the optimal level. You have the opportunity to take a magnifying glass to it this month and really assess it and to make these shifts where necessary. So it could relate to anything, but particularly looking at your lifestyle and your health. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're going to have health problems, but it's a time when you can improve your health and you can improve the way you're living your life, so you can optimize the way you're living your life. Now, this particularly is important because we're in eclipse season, and so on the 14th of October, we have a solar eclipse in Libra in your 6th house. So that eclipse will be bringing in something for you in terms of that situation to do with your lifestyle, with your health, with solving problems, whatever problem is coming up for you. There may be a solution around that eclipse. It is a very positive eclipse, and it is a solar eclipse, so it can bring a new beginning. But it is also it is the second eclipse in this cycle. So we're in this process of transitioning between two eclipse cycles. So we're ending the eclipse that was in your sign. So in the Taurus Scorpio eclipse, that the cycle that has been happening since 2021, and we're shifting into a Libra Aries eclipse cycle. So that will become more important next year, but we're starting to get a taste of it now. So that brings me to the eclipse in Taurus, all right? The eclipse in Taurus on October 28th is going to be the most profound part of this month for you. It is the last eclipse in that cycle. Now, that eclipse cycle has been sort of bringing shockwaves through your life. So like last year more profoundly, but it started in November 2021. Okay, shifting and changing who you are as an individual, who you are as a unique person. This has been something you've been working on intensely for a while now, with Uranus there and Jupiter in your sign as well, and these eclipses in your sign. So this is going to sort of wrap up the emotional component of that for you, Taurus. So whatever happens at the end of the month on October 28th, I don't feel like it will be too much of a surprise. I think it's just going to be tying up loose ends of your character, of your personality, and solving any additional problems that need to be solved, so that you can flourish into the unique person that you are. So you're coming into this reading with the 9 of Wands. So that is that really aligned and authentic character that I'm talking about. So these eclipses have been really aligning you with your authentic self. And that's something you've been working on for a while, this really authentic character and building your authentic character. There's been a lot of shifting and changing in your personality, in your traits, in how you present yourself, how you are perceived by others. Okay, this has been really important. And now you are sort of stepping into this authenticity and stepping into a new space in your life. And with the 9 of Wands, maybe it hasn't been easy. Maybe it's been a battle for you, Taurus. Or maybe it has been, it has been so, not uncomfortable, but so odd, so strange. It's like a new way of being, right? So you've had to get used to it. It's like finding your legs, finding your feet, especially as a Taurus anyway, as a very fixed sign Taurus. really struggles with change, and so there's been a lot of demands on you over the last year or so, and you have come to the table, Taurus. You should be really proud of yourself, proud of what you have achieved, okay? As well as your ruling planet Venus, okay, in July through to September, so mostly in August, did a retrograde in Leo in your 4th house. So that has also added a little bit to this storyline. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because Venus is moving into Virgo on October the 9th. So we'll be moving out of Leo. But now when Venus moves out of Leo, as it hits the cusp of Leo, that can sort of come to a head, that transit. So that transit was in your 4th house, which is a really important house in the chart. It would have been bringing up a lot of things from childhood, a lot of any trauma, any wounds, any pain that came from childhood. So this is maybe why you're coming through in this 9 of Wands energy, feeling a little bit battered, feeling a little bit bruised, like you've been through a lot. And we all have been through a lot. We had the Mercury retrograde last month too, so that was in your 5th house. It just feels like a lot, and and now you're stepping into eclipse season, so there's more to do, and it maybe you're feeling a bit tired, but when the 9 of Wands is there, it means that you are still going, that you have gotten through it and you are still achieving. The good news is, though, Taurus, this month, October, is a really great month for fun, right? So this welcome relief as Venus moves out of Leo and moves into Virgo, into your 5th house. And because Venus is your ruler, that's really important, because that's how you're going to be feeling. And the 5th house is the house of pleasure and of play and of fun and of joy, of childlike ease and of romance as well. Now, the other thing is, at the end of the month, everything shifts into Scorpio, into your 7th house. So we have Venus in the 5th house, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury in the 7th house. This could be at the end of the month, could be really great time for romance if you're looking for love, for that romantic, playful, passionate, fresh, the fling, new beginning, love type energy. Or if you're not looking for love, just to be playful and to be around your friends and to celebrate and let your hair down and just do things that you enjoy, and to go to social events, is a really beautiful time at the end of the month for that. So that will help to ease any of this 9 of Wands energy. Now, the environment is coming through as the 2 of Coins, which tells me that you've got a lot on your plate, Taurus. You're juggling a lot, burning the candle at both ends. And maybe that's the problem that is needing to be solved with this 6th house. Okay, with the 6th house, we're looking at your habits, you're looking at your daily life. So if you have been burning the candle at both ends, if you've been taking on too much, if you have been stressed, okay, is what I'm feeling with this 2 of Coins, is there's a lot of stress that can lead to burnout. So if you're in that burnout position, that can be what this eclipse is coming in to readjust, or what this Libra season is coming in to readjust. This is not sustainable, that energy. It's okay to work hard, play hard for a little while, but it's not a sustainable energy to be in for the long term. So if the environment is asking you to balance a lot, juggle a lot, 2 of Coins, and you're feeling this 9 of Wands energy, it may be time to reassess, Taurus. It may be time to reassess what you're doing with your day. Now, when we're dealing with the 6th house, we're dealing with the small things, right? We're dealing with what time you go to bed at night. Maybe it's just as simple as adjusting that, going to bed a bit earlier, getting a little bit more sleep. Maybe it's as simple as reducing the amount of coffee you have, because coffee puts a heavy toll on the adrenal glands in the body, okay? When we're stressed and when we're working really hard, we tend to drink more coffee to keep ourselves going, but it actually burns out your resources. It feels good in the time, but it depletes your body and it depletes your system, and it makes you more tired in the long run. So things like that, that's the kind of stuff you'll be looking at with this 6th house activation, okay? It'll be different for everybody. There's a few examples to get you started. Okay, and the universe needs you. 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so maybe the universe has already provided you with an out. There's been somewhere where you have been able to move forward and you didn't. Okay, typical Taurus energy, that you weren't willing to make the changes, okay, necessary. And now the eclipses are coming in and you have no choice, right? So this is kind of what happens with eclipses. It's almost like fate stepping in and fate realigning you. It's almost like fate coming down and picking you up and putting you onto the right path. So if you wandered off, the eclipses come and they realign you and you don't really get a choice in it. So how far you have wandered off the path will determine how painful or how easy this transition is for you. So it'll be different for everybody, but the universe is asking for you to be flexible and to move towards, to take that forward momentum when it arrives, when it's presented to you, okay? With the 6 of Swords in reverse, there's a direction that you haven't taken. Let's get some more information. 9 of Coins. Possibly there's something that you need to learn, okay? So again, if you've been very busy, say you're working 2 jobs, right? Or you're working full time and you've got small children or something like that. If you've been very, very busy, these kinds of Page of Coins stuff becomes irrelevant, right? It's like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. You're in survival mode. You're in survival mode, doing what you can to get through each day. But what happens is we have tasks. Okay, I'm going to do my best to break this down to make this make sense. But there's certain tasks that we have that we prioritize, right? And so there's urgent tasks that usually are prioritized first. Like, we're hungry, we need to cook dinner. So dinner gets prioritized, okay? And then there are other tasks that would be beneficial, that would help to make our lives more beneficial, but they're not urgent, and so they get put off and they get put off and they get put off. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We all do it, okay? There's things that we do, they're on our to-do list, but they're not urgent. They're not urgent enough to get priority, and so they never get our attention and they never really get done. It's those kinds of things that you need to be looking at this month, Taurus. These are the ways that you solve these problems, because oftentimes those things that are not urgent but are still important are the things that would make our lives easier in the long run. They're the things that would streamline our lives in the long run. So you're looking at streamlining your life, Taurus. So prioritizing some of those things. Okay, so the example that I gave you of making dinner. I'm hungry, so I'll make dinner. But if you were to join up with one of those companies that provide that, you know, sends your dinner to your door, or, you know, like, let's just use that as an example. And I don't have time to do the sign up. I don't have time. When do you have space in your day to sit down and do that? You don't. So you just keep making dinner. But actually, if you were to carve out some time to sit down and sign up for that, even though it takes a bit of extra time, it would save you a lot of time down the track, because you wouldn't have to be making dinner all the time, or doing the food shopping all the time, or whatever. So, I mean, you can apply that to whatever your situation is, but that's an example of something that's not urgent but important, okay, needing to be prioritized above the important and urgent things. Finding that space, finding that time is what this Page of Coins is telling you. Because there's been solutions, these problems have been solved in the past and you haven't done them because they weren't urgent enough. And we've got the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. So again, like I said, at the end of the month, you've got the 7th house. So we've got Mars moves into your 7th house on the 12th. Mercury moves into your 7th house on the 22nd, and then we start Scorpio season, so your 7th house will be activated on the 24th for the month. So this is a really beautiful time with Venus in your 5th house for love, for pleasure. You may meet somebody, Ace of Cups. That is obviously not for everybody, but if you're looking for love, it's a really powerful time to find someone at the end of the month. Now, if you're in a relationship, it's a really nice time to nurture that relationship, to spend some time with that person. And if you're single and not really interested in love, it's a really good time to snuggle up with yourself and nurture the most important relationship in your life. That's you. Okay? So when we're doing that work, when we're nurturing ourselves, and even if you are in a relationship as well, nurturing yourself, it is the best way to do that, is to identify, recognize what your needs are and meet them. Okay? So your needs may be, if you're burning the candle at both ends, your needs may be to stop doing that. So you may need to drop some responsibilities, start prioritizing some time for yourself, start prioritizing time for your health, start prioritizing time to work out or to eat better or to have bubble baths or to meditate or to relax or to see your friends, because being with our friends is very beneficial for our mental health. Those kinds of priorities is what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, is a way that you can Ace of Cups your life, right? You can really follow your life from the heart space kind of energy. This may be difficult for you as Lilith will be moving into your 5th house from the 4th of October for 9 months. So Lilith will be really starting to unravel places in your life where you haven't done those things for yourself because of other people's judgments and other people's criticisms of you. So there's a theme there that will come up over the next 9 months as well. And we have the Ten of Swords. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. So yeah, I really like this Hanged Man picture. Have a look. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about with that Six of Swords energy. You've been in this limbo. I feel this limbo for you. And that 6th house is really about our comfort zones, okay? We can get very comfortable in uncomfortable comfort zones, and we can get really stuck in sort of a rut, in a cycle. Now, that cycle, 10 of Swords, is not doing you any favors, Taurus, especially for you with that fixed sign energy, Really, you are very prone to getting stuck in a rut because that's how you've always done it, and that's what you know, and it's comfortable, and why change it? But this month, that doesn't fly. This month is a month of change, especially with those eclipses. It's unavoidable. You're not going to be able to avoid the changes that are coming, okay? And it's for your best interest. So there's going to be a fire lit underneath you to make some moves, make some changes, make a shift, because you need to get out of this Ten of Swords energy. It's not beneficial for you. It's not sustainable, and it's not ever going to get you to where you want to be. And to get towards where you want to be, things need to change. You need to take that step into a new direction. Step off and move forward, 6 of Swords, okay? Do what is necessary to get yourself out of the situation you're in now. Now, what is being mirrored to you? Your passion is being mirrored to you in the environment. So if you have been feeling into a lot of passion, and then this goes back to that Venus transit, where Venus is shifting on the 9th into Virgo, into your 5th house, is the house of passion, right? So this is now Venus is encouraging you to light up and to find what lights you up, and to do those things, to have a little bit of fun, have a little bit more pleasure, more ease, more enjoyment, to ease up a little bit on the stresses of your life, ease up a little bit on the things, on the responsibilities, the things that burn you out, 9 of Wands, and to follow your passion and follow your joy. Now, how much and how little you do that will be reflected to you in your environment. So if you look around you and your environment is really uncomfortable, it's not the way that you want it to be. So if your life is really hard this month, Okay. This is your indicator that you are not following your passion, that your passion is being dulled for whatever reason. Maybe you're too tired, maybe you're too stressed, maybe you have too many responsibilities, and this is the problem that needs to be solved. How can you live more passionately? How can you live your life more passionately and more from that passionate space? What can you do that is more passionate and more enjoyable? Those hobbies and those creative interests. What sparks your creativity? What sparks your passion? If you're somebody who's really aligned with that, then you may look around your environment and really like what you see. And so that's something for you to play with that feeling of passion, and play and see what happens in your environment, particularly as you move into the end of the month, right? This could be another person. The end of the month is that 7th house. It could be a relationship. If there's a relationship comes in, then that's an indicator that you're pretty well aligned with your sense of passion, okay? Okay, so I'm going to pull 2 of these surrender cards this month because it is eclipse season. So there's going to be a lot of things to surrender. So I'm going to pull 2 cards, surrender cards. If they want to come out. We have surrender, denial, of course. And surrender your desire to control people. Very interesting. Okay. Surrendering denial. I feel like this is that Libra solar eclipse on October the 24th, right? We've talked in depth about this, about your life, about changing those things in your life, changing your habits, your lifestyle, your health habits, those things that, like I said, that are urgent and important, and there may be denial around that. Okay, looking at the things that are not urgent but important. So this card says accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. I like that with this rut, this sort of like hanged man energy, getting out of that rut, moving forward. This 6 of Swords in reverse, you may be in denial that was even an option, or that maybe you are in denial that you didn't take that option. Whatever that resonates with you, have a look in your life and start getting brutally honest with yourself. Now, surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Again, like I said, at the end of the month is stepping into that 7th house energy, especially with Mars in the 7th house. That does bring a lot of passion. So your relationships could fire up, could really heat up with passion. And that can be good or bad depending on where you're sitting in terms of that relationship. So if you're in a relationship, okay, or if you're just entering into a new relationship, have a think about and look at your desires to control that other person. And look at how that's impacting your relationship with them. And know that truth is a living force, whether you believe in it or not. So truth in this context is your truth. Okay, your truth, Taurus. And like I said, at the end of the month on October 28th, you've got that last eclipse in your sign. And this is the sign, this is the eclipse that's bringing your authentic self out. You're really drawing your authentic self out. And I love that with the energy at the end of the month with your 7th house being activated. So somebody or people you're relating to may be drawing that out of you. And it's important to remember that being authentic is being your truth, being aligned with your truth. And that is the most beautiful gift that you can give to yourself. And recognizing as well, identifying your needs and aligning up with that and providing for yourself is a version of lining up with your truth. So a really powerful way to end this reading, Taurus. There's a lot for you to go on with this month. There's a lot for you to do. And I wish you all the best this month. Thank you for being here with me. Your time is really appreciated. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. That means a lot to me as well. Good luck, and I will see you next month. Take care.